Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm showing off my complete collection of LEGO Harry Potter BrickHeadz ranging from 2018 all the way through 2022. Now, it seems like we don't get a lot of these BrickHeadz, but we actually do. The only year that we didn't get at least one was in 2019, but I guess the ones from 2018 are pretty rare because I was checking prices on them on Bricklink last summer, and they seemed like they had gone up in value a lot more than I expected. And of course, we only got like 2 in 2020, although ever since 2021, we've gotten like at least 4 per year. So I'm assuming that streak will continue into 2023. So here's a little bit of a better view at all of them grouped together. I've kind of got it like arranged from oldest to newest. So we have like the 2018 ones back there. The 2021 ones are in the middle. And then we have our brand new 2022 ones. And I actually did a complete review of this 4-pack set, but I haven't done reviews of any of these other sets just because they came out at like weird times. And of course, I wasn't really regularly making videos when the first batch of ones came out in 2018. We've got a pretty healthy number of characters represented here, but you'll notice that there is a lot of duplication as well. Like, for example, we have 2 Hagrids that came out just a year apart. We have 2 Harrys, 2 Rons, 2 Hermiones. But other than that, all of the characters are unique. And, you know, we have a couple of villains, we've got a couple of professors, and I'm pretty happy with the selection overall. So I think now I'm going to split them out into groups and we can kind of compare them and take a look at which ones I like the best. We might as well start off with our trio. The larger ones at the back were the ones produced in 2018, while the smaller, cutesier ones are the ones from 2021. I have to say, I think these 3 are my least favorite of all of the Harry Potter BrickHeadz. I just don't like these. I don't like this medium size anyway. Like, I get that it's supposed to be their kids, you know, it's like their first years, but I'm just not a fan of it. They also like all use the exact same Gryffindor tie print, and at this scale, stuff like the hair looks a lot more rudimentary. And I also really don't like Harry's eyes. I think that these look terrible. They make him look like an owl, and I am not a fan of these ones. Medium-sized BrickHeadz are cool, but I like it a lot better when they're used to represent characters like Rocket Raccoon, which are, you know, just like, they wouldn't work in regular BrickHeadz scale. These guys do work in regular BrickHeadz scale, which we know because we have these ones from 2018. I think that these ones look perfect. I like how each one has a different, you know, variation on the Hogwarts uniform. Harry's in a full robe with his scarf. Hermione is just in her skirt and jumper. And then Ron has open robes. And I think that that is like really great variation, and you get like different prints in each one. I also like the exposed studs on their sleeves. I think it adds a nice little bit of texture to these. And I far prefer it when they just had these wand pieces. And also, sorry for the dust on these. I did not clean these before this video. But I liked it a lot better when they used this bar piece for a wand, because of course that's the piece that was used for many years for the wands before they made like the special piece in 2018. But I think that that piece just gets lost on the BrickHeadz, and so I prefer having them hold the bars. Harry was also the first BrickHeadz to introduce glasses, I'm pretty sure. And this glasses piece is awesome. It just attaches onto a jumper stud in the middle. And it seems like LEGO doesn't really care about using those anymore, because the only other character with glasses in this line is Professor Trelawney, and they didn't use that piece. They actually just fully built up like a very interesting technique for her glasses, which you can see in my review of that set. So yeah, overall, I just think that these are a lot more interesting and they look a lot better. I think that they, you know, look more like the characters, and I like that they're not quite as like ridiculously cartoony, although of course BrickHeadz are still pretty cartoony. All right, then we'll take a look at Dumbledore and Newt's commander, because I don't really know how else to group these guys. Dumbledore came in a 2-pack with Ron from 2018, and I really like Dumbledore. I love the print for his glasses, and I really like all of the different prints for his intricate robes. I think that these are some of the best prints that LEGO's ever made for BrickHeadz, actually. And his beard is a little bit, again, simplistic. Like, if this was made today, I feel like it would have a lot more texture, but it definitely works. It's not like it's bad. And overall, I'd say Dumbledore is definitely up there as one of my favorites from this series, or just from this line. Newt is also pretty cute. I really like the colors used on him, from the hair color to like this kind of sand blue for his like trench coat. And he does have his little suitcase there, just a regular piece, no prints or anything. And he came in a 2-pack with Grindelwald from 2018. And he and Grindelwald are the only Fantastic Beasts characters that have ever been represented as BrickHeadz, which I think is kind of a shame because I'd really love to see other Fantastic Beasts characters like young Dumbledore made. Then we have the Hogwarts professors, and out of these, I definitely like these 3 a lot more than those 3. These 3 are just much more interesting, obviously with their colors, and then even just their designs, like McGonagall's feathers, or like Moody's eye, or Trelawney's, like bandana, and her really cool glasses build. And I mean, I like this Hagrid. This is the one that came in a 2-pack with Buckbeak from 2020 when Diagon Alley came out. And this was actually a gift with purchase, so you can buy it at retail. And I really like this one because you have, brick-built detailing, and pretty simplistic hair, but it still looks good. And again, I mean, overall, this is really simple. That's probably why I like it less, because it's basically just like, it's very boxy. And BrickHeadz are very boxy, but there's not a lot going on there. This Hagrid from 2021 that came with like the children versions of Harry, Ron, and Hermione, he's got some more detail in the hair, which I definitely appreciate. And a little bit more detail, just kind of like all around. And he does have a print instead of brick-built detail, but I don't know, like the body's still boring to me. He still just has like the same accessory except without a lantern, and I don't like the color of the coat on this one quite as much as that one. Then again, did a separate review of these, but Snape is just not interesting to me. The thing I like the most about him is that printed tile and his little potions bottle. So overall, I think it's great that we have like a bunch of Hogwarts professors, especially thanks to this 4-pack. And I definitely like to see more. I'd love to see Professor Quirrell done as a BrickHeadz. I think that would be a really interesting challenge, especially if the designer wanted to try to build Voldemort's face onto the back of his turban. That would be really cool, actually, like if you could build like a removable turban that like lifts off to reveal another BrickHeadz face on the back. So I do want to see more Hogwarts professors. It's just that these aren't really my favorite. Next up, we've got the magical creatures, and LEGO has dipped their toes into doing like creature BrickHeadz before, but they don't do them very often. But I always love it when they do, because I find these to be some of the most interesting BrickHeadz that LEGO makes. Hedwig is from the Harry figure from 2018. She's my least favorite of these 3, just because she's kind of boring. There's not much going on, just like one little print. The eyes printed on yellow are pretty nice. But again, there's just not that much going on. And she's pretty comparable in size to to the child ones, although they are obviously not built in quite the same manner. Then we have Buckbeak from 2020 with the first Hagrid that I showed you guys. This one is really cool. They also did like Blue the Velociraptor from Jurassic World as a BrickHeadz, and that one was also really awesome because these just break the mold so much. Like the heads are pretty much the same, like literally exactly the same, but like the body is just so different, and that's so much more interesting. Like you've got the different feet for hippogriffs, you have a nice little tail, you've got good detail on the wings, and of course the face just looks fantastic. So I'm a big fan of LEGO like breaking the mold. And speaking of breaking the mold, Nagini is like basically shatters it. Like this is barely BrickHeadz at all anymore. Like honestly, the only thing that makes this a BrickHeadz is the eye print. Like, because even the head is quite different. It's much smaller, it's much more compact than the other ones. And so, I mean, that makes this one feel a little bit weird just because it is so different, but that's also why I like it so much. I love the colors, love the head, love that print. And yeah, even though the head is constructed in like a completely different way and it has a lot more, this is a lot more dynamic than your usual BrickHeadz because they tend to look very static as is intended by the style. But yeah, Nagini is just awesome. One of my favorites for sure. And I'm really glad that LEGO decided to break away from some of the traditional BrickHeadz stylings with it. And then lastly, we've got the villains here. So on the left, we have Gellert Grindelwald from 2018. And then we have Voldemort and Bellatrix, who came in a 3-pack with Nagini in 2021. Now, Grindelwald, I think looks great. He comes with this special gray printed eye. And the designer did a great job, like replicating his look from the movies, which I absolutely hated. I think Johnny Depp was a terrible Grindelwald in appearance and performance. And, I kind of wish LEGO would do a new Grindelwald based on Mads Mikkelsen's performance or look, I guess. because I just don't like this whole bleached white thing. But that's like a movie thing, you know, like that's how it looks in the movie. I can't fault the Lego figure for looking like the movie. And I do like the collar on this one and the print there. But yeah, Grindelwald looks the part, but I just don't really like this design at all in any form of media, so it's not one of my favorites. Voldemort, on the other hand, I think looks perfect. Love this design, great print, great little like snake nose piece there. We have the dark green robes instead of black, which I think are a lot more interesting. And then he did kind of make, he did kind of like define this kind of like robe style build that's also used on McGonagall and Snape in 2022. So overall, I like him a lot, but of course his head is pretty boring because, I mean, he's just Voldemort. He doesn't have any hair. But Bellatrix has a ton of hair, and this is why she's my favorite Harry Potter BrickHeadz. There's so much interesting stuff going on with her. Like, building her hair was like the most fun I've ever had building a BrickHeadz, I think. I also really like the way that they did kind of like the dip in her dress, because you can see that those are like upside down cheese slopes nestling into right side up cheese slopes. It was a really interesting build that I still remember, and again, that's so much better than just giving us a 1x2 printed brick. So I really like that LEGO did that. Of course, we just have a 1x4 printed brick there for her dress, and I wish she had a little bit more detail down into the last one, but the hair is what shines on her. Hair is like where BrickHeadz can get really creative, and with Bellatrix, the designer just went crazy, and it looks fantastic. Like, I am obsessed with everything here. And now that I think about it, I might have done separate reviews of her and Voldemort. Like, I might have done a review for them too last year. And I'm sure I gushed about her hair then because I seem to remember spending a lot of time talking about it like I'm doing now. But yeah, I just think that this BrickHeadz is absolutely fantastic and definitely the best one from Harry Potter just for the build techniques at play. Alright, well, that about does it for this collection video. I just wanted to take a look at these guys because I've like never pulled them all out and lined them up before, and I was doing that as I was organizing all of my BrickHeadz, and so I thought that other people might be interested in seeing these. I think that this is a pretty solid collection, but like I said at the start of the video, there's a lot of repetition considering that there aren't like a ton of BrickHeadz here. There's a very decent amount, but like I don't like that we have 2 Hagrids and 2 Harry, Ron, and Hermiones. So I hope that if we continue into 2023, like I'd love a remake of Dumbledore with like Michael Gambon's like outfit instead of Richard Harris's, but I don't really want that because I don't want to just keep having duplicates of the same characters. I think it'd be more interesting to get, like I said, new characters like Quirrell, like Umbridge. Umbridge, I think, should be a no-brainer because of, you know, like she'd be such a visually interesting BrickHeadz. So I don't know where they're going to take the Harry Potter BrickHeadz line in 2023, but I do hope that we get at least 1 or 2 because I like seeing new ones every year, especially as they become more innovative and clever, like with the building techniques on Bellatrix and Trelawney. So that's it for today. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com, and I'll see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.